And this one here, we're going to focus in on employee engagement, primarily around ServiceNow's HR service delivery, but we'll also highlight some of the new employee workflows that are also available for organizations. In terms of brief introduction, wanted to let you know a little bit about what the webinar will be about. Then we'll provide you a brief intro to ResultsPositive, and then we'll jump right in. We'll be doing a quick overview of an employee engagement value map, looking for ways to drive value and to drive those funding opportunities for your organization. Then we'll go through some of the different employee workflows that are available. And then we're going to highlight opportunities and examples both from customers as well as solutions where you can look at improving employee productivity or areas to optimize your HR operations and associated service delivery, ultimately then driving to enhanced employee engagement and increased loyalty to the organization. So that's an agenda that we'll be walking through here to today's webinar. So thanks again for attending, and we appreciate your attendance. In terms of brief introduction for ResultsPositive, we specialize in helping customers get value out of their technology and business investments. So there'll be business solutions or technology solutions. We're helping organizations drive that value. We do that through our service offerings, whether it be assessment roadmap services, whether it be through actual technology development services, or whether it be through implementation, say, of ServiceNow, as well as then through training and managed services. So we've really enjoyed our partnership here with ServiceNow as our strategic go-to partner. We've continued to value some of our more legacy partners as well. So thanks again for attending. So we wanted to start off here and talk a little about the employee engagement value map. And we like to kind of focus this on the different strategic priorities or objectives that you might have in your organization. So in this particular area here, when it comes to employees, we know that they are the lifeblood of an organization. We know that they're really critical to deliver products and services to customers or to partners or to even third-party suppliers. So we can see here some common strategic priorities all about making sure that our people are able to differentiate our products and services, thereby driving a productive workforce, being able to provide that high-level world-class HR service, ultimately to improve overall productivity. At the same time, and especially in today's environment, both from a marketplace and a social perspective, there's increased focus here on corporate and social responsibility. So that's both during work hours and then kind of outside within the overall community. And so that's another set of capabilities that ServiceNow is providing to organizations. And then last but not least, to be able to maintain that employee engagement in today's world, we need to leverage current technology, emerging technology, so that employees can engage the way they're used to in their personal lives, also here from an overall business perspective. So the end result here is looking at improving employee productivity. So there can be significant savings there by taking manual processes and manual solutions and making those digital. Looking for ways to increase that engagement, whether that be employee life events, such as a new hire as an anniversary, as an example. Maybe they have personal events within their family, or obviously there's the termination life events. And then there's just the retirement life event, and then even the alumni community. So ServiceNow is assisting organizations to facilitate and to engage with their alumni as well. Ultimately here, looking to drive and support the business to drive overall outcomes. And then I would say a key differentiator here with ServiceNow has to do with overall operations and automating these different workflows across different silos in the organization to optimization of the operations, but also then to help look at reducing overall risk. So if we were to look at that a little bit further here in terms of some more tangible outcomes, so we look at these kind of desired outcomes here that we just walked through. Overall value here, we can look at overall increasing the performance of the organization. We can look at the time to value, delivering various products or services. We can look at driving down employee turnover as a result of that increased engagement. Look for ways to even manage the recruiting and hiring process, as we've helped multiple customers with solutions in that space. Look for driving down your overall HR support costs. So if we can automate more of those workflows, it takes less team members internally to manage all those activities required to manage a growing and thriving organization. And continually then look at the overall service delivery costs, as well as even reducing compliance risk. So there's different ways that can be provided to an organization through the different ServiceNow solutions and capabilities. So there's some of the things that are really prominent here is the employee self-service portal. You'll see examples here on how you can use that same type of technology for your alumni community. When we think about HR and managing our employees, that's full life cycle. Today's environment, just because someone leaves and becomes an alumni doesn't necessarily mean that they might not come back later to the organization. So an opportunity to remain that engagement with alumni as well. And next here is just looking at how to use knowledge and allow employees to be able to self-serve themselves about information about various corporate policies, whether it be about payroll or whether it be about insurance. They can get access to that information very easily. And then down here, we're looking at different ways to use automation, whether that be for workflow automation and automated routing, or that be through agent intelligence, whether that be through analytics and machine learning, different ways to drive and enhance overall automation. So we've definitely seen some real tangible outcomes, and we'll have a chance to highlight some of those outcomes today as we go through our webinar today. So the first thing to highlight here is that the ServiceNow platform has been built here from the beginning to assist organizations to manage their workflows. Yes, they originally started it with IT. That's where the founders, most of his experience was in there in IT. But the overall guiding vision was to be able to provide a platform by which organizations can manage their business, manage their workflows in one central place, and be able to do that in a fashion that allows you to break down those silos across the different parts of the organization so that you can not only support IT workflows, employee workflows, which we'll be talking about today, as well as customer workflows. In addition to that, you can actually build your own applications. So you could convert legacy applications that maybe you have in Access or Lotus Notes or other types of solutions, or even just a paper-based process or solutions you have today, and kind of create your own kind of custom application and associated workflow. Here in the overall core platform, you've got core platform capabilities, the workflows, and then you have the integrations here with the source of truth. So ServiceNow is not meant to come in and replace the source of truth, is to be able to facilitate that service delivery end-to-end workflow process that's required across different departments. So you might have HR on a day-to-day basis managing things here in their source of truth, but they need to facilitate and manage that end-to-end service delivery across the organization. And that's where ServiceNow comes into play, allows for that workflow across the different parts of the organization. So we're really excited to be a partner with ServiceNow, and even more excited to see the value the customers are achieving as they are digitizing their workflows. Next, just to highlight a broader perspective here when it comes to employee workflows. So there's a continual research and investment. There's also a continual focus on existing customers as they're seeing the value of the platform and the ease of developing new applications in the no-code or low-code environment. They're able to start putting in new solutions to manage different workflows. That has led then to ServiceNow adding in additional solutions to support employees. So not only around HR, which is our core focus here today, but around workplace. So how to manage things from a workplace perspective, whether that be for the office or scheduling things around the workplace, workplace policies, things of that nature, to legal service delivery, as well as then to the safe workplace. So a lot of that has come about here recently about all of the pandemic that we've had and keeping everyone safe. So some great opportunities there as well. And so the whole idea here is to look for ways to enhance that engagement and that experience so that employees can be productive in performing their job, at the same time then giving them the chance to enjoy their life outside of work. So what ServiceNow has been able to do is provide that connected capabilities to support those workflows. And so the employee here has the opportunity to get access to what they need to perform their job, as well as to get access to answer questions for their family. And so they can do that through different engagement channels with the experience. They can get answers to questions, or they can perform various work functions by utilizing workflow, by using integrations into some of their source systems, using the power of the analytics and machine learning to help automate those functions. So that kind of connected experience is going to drive that engagement and drive that experience. Those of you that might have attended our session in January when we talked about our budget saving opportunities, we highlighted some of these opportunities which have been updated, but ways that you can look at using the technology combined with your processes internally to find some budget saving opportunities in the organization. So whether it be reducing your overall resource support costs through using virtualization and automation here through virtual agents. That way we reduce the number of HR support staff needed. As you can set up those frequently asked questions, those can be then digitized and set up with a virtual agent so that employees can get that information handled virtually, i.e. via chat or that virtual agent. Then being able to utilize the actual predictive intelligence for HR organization to understand the questions that are coming in. What are those common pain points that employees are requesting or searching for? And then that way you can supply that in terms of knowledge, or you can supply that in terms of a prepackaged service. So that can really then further drive down further support costs. Next is optimizing operations and the actual delivery of HR services. Number one, that can be through the workflow automation we've been talking about, also through that orchestration across the different groups. And then for the employee engagement and loyalty here, making sure that there's an easy way and a great experience for the employee to engage, to get answers to their HR questions, to be able to easily respond to HR's request to onboard a new employee, to offboard a new employee, to facilitate various life event activities that need to occur across the organization. So those are some common areas that we see of driving budget savings for the organization. Next here, just kind of wanted to highlight a customer example. So a global financial services organization, as you can see here, by really implementing and digitizing their onboarding process, significant savings, able to drive over 600,000 of annual savings, and being able to really eliminate over 1,500 issues that they were experiencing previously. So just the power of the workflow, the power of digitizing that process, and then being able to reduce and consolidate that process into one end-to-end flow. So great use case here. So definitely something to think about in your organization if you're having challenges or issues today when it comes to onboarding of new employees. So next I wanted to go through and highlight some of the different solutions that are available here for employee HR service delivery, as well as highlight some of the benefits that organizations have been able to achieve by using these capabilities. So first here, we've talked a little bit about that employee experience. And so just like ServiceNow supports for customers or for IT. Here from an overall HR perspective, you can provide that unified omni-channel opportunity for employees. So whether they're on their phone and they prefer to use their phone, they want to log into their laptop and go to the service portal, they want to talk to a virtual agent, they have the ability to use those different channels here and to get access to the information that they need, get answers to the questions that the family members are asking, so they can get that information home to their family members. So a great ability here to really drive that overall employee experience. You'll notice over here in terms of some of the customer examples here, so 90% of employee requests are being deflected. So that's being deflected, meaning they were able to find the answer themselves here through the knowledge or through the videos, or they're able to receive the answer here through the virtual agent and the chat capabilities. And so just imagine that if you're having thousands of inquiries a day from employees, you could take 90% of that away by investing in putting together your knowledge, putting together and setting up your virtual agent for those frequently asked questions. And that's going to then enhance that employee engagement. They'll spend less time focusing on these items, free up more time to do their job, focusing on those products and services. Thereby then they can leave on time and have a more rewarding experience. So next here, just highlight other different solutions that are available. And this kind of broadens into that overall community as an example, but also here for employee experiences as well. So here's an example here of managing the journey here for new employees. Here we're looking at setting up an alumni service center. So similarly to setting up your own internal employee service center, where everyone can go and get questions and answers, here you can do the same thing for alumni. So if they have questions about their retirement plan, or if they have questions about their medical plan as they've left and they still have now that medical plan in COBRA. This is another great way to remain engagement with your alumni, but also it highlights just the world-class nature of your organization, and then it provides the ability then to maintain that engagement. So here we're seeing 50% reduction in time employees spent on administration activities. So here again, your HR team will be freed up from these activities. Here again, there will be some investment of putting in the knowledge articles or the videos and such, but the dividends will be significant. Next here, we've kind of alluded to this previously, but allow your employees to meet where they are. So not only be able to use that omni-channel in terms of searching for answers or submitting requests, but also here now allowing them to engage in the different systems that you might be using for collaboration today. So other, say for example, you're managing things in Microsoft Teams, you can use that as a mechanism to make requests, as an example. If you're doing things here in the workplace from Facebook, another way to engage and tie that into ServiceNow. Obviously, ServiceNow has its own mobile app, so you can look at your engagement there as well. So here we're seeing this is really driving that increase in the Net Promoter Score, thereby enhancing that employee engagement and that overall employee satisfaction. And next here, and this is really important as part of that employee engagement and satisfaction, is being able to resolve those requests quicker. A lot of times employees have requests that are urgent of nature, whether it be a medical related item, or it's something with their new hire date, or something that their insurance needs to be activated. Some of those things can be, wait to the last minute before they're actually requested. And so it's really important to make sure that we have an ability to turn those around very quickly, be able to route those requests, and be able to provide those answers in a very quick fashion. So here we're highlighting the different opportunities within your HR team. So here you can be able to see those requests coming in and be able to make assignments and routing of those requests just on the mobile app. Here, be able to do that here in the agent workspace, or be able to manage things here from overall employee relations. So multiple different solutions here to support the efficiency needed to streamline efforts in solving these requests. You can see here over thousands of hours being saved annually in assisting employees by through automation and through workflow and the different tools and capabilities available here with ServiceNow. Next here, just looking at additional ways here to manage the work. So here, looking at the lifecycle event builder and looking at using that new capability that's come out to be able to track and manage the different employee events, being able to use your mobile manager dashboard, understanding the different requests, the status of those requests. So it's a great way for managers to be able to understand at a glance what's going on, be able to step in and take action as needed. So a nice capability here. You can see mobile definitely can take off with an organization once that's been identified as another channel for employees. Next, just to highlight some of the other pre-configured workflows and items that are available here from an overall HR service delivery perspective. We're going to highlight here shortly too just some additional plugin solutions and applications that you can pull down from the ServiceNow Store. And this will help your onboarding process and setting up these processes and workflows so that you can digitize those for your organization very quickly. So you can see here different types, whether you're doing promotions or transfers, onboarding. Here we're looking at return to the workplace, tax type of campaigns. So very, nice set of pre-configured workflows that you can use as a starting point. Also, there's the various workplace and the safe workplace various solutions that have been developed specifically around COVID-19. So you can see here organizations will be able to load those in, install those, validate, make a couple of changes and get those deployed to the organization here with less than 3 days. So quick time to value, helping to quickly turn around and remove frustration that employees or support staff might be having in dealing with the demand for some of these unplanned activities such as COVID. And next here, as I mentioned, there's various different solutions that are available. So some of these solutions are available with no cost. Some of these might require a cost, but you can see here these different solutions that you can use. We talked a little bit about the Alumni Service Center as an option here, contact tracing if that's something important for the organization, employee travel as an example, PPE, inventory management. So different solutions that ServiceNow has been creating. And so you can quickly get access to those and start using those to assist your employees. And next, as our focus here is all about outcomes and looking for those budget saving opportunities. So when you look here from just overall ability to transform the business, we've seen that imperative this last year, where if you weren't doing a lot of digitization in the past, is definitely required in this remote workforce. We're seeing here significant ROI, 254% here of ROI over 3 years. So significant savings. Here we're looking at that case deflection rate for mobile first. So that's going to drive significant savings as well for the HR support team. Here we're looking for ways to streamline the processes. So when we look at 4,400 hours here, significant cost savings for the organization to focus on more value generating activities. And this here, we're looking at office reservations to manage and maintain a safe workplace. definitely is something that many organizations had to start coming up with a manual process. But now ServiceNow has been able to digitize that. You can get access to that here to support and really grow that employee experience. Next here, and I think I forgot this one here out of order, but here we can say, looking at that manage a safe and efficient workplace, I just kind of alluded to that. Here having a specific way to manage commuting and parking, looking at ways to schedule your different rooms, understanding the layout, what's available in those rooms. So really helping with those safety controls and social distancing required in today's environment. So pretty significant usage, as you can see here, 51,000 here for specific customers here when it comes to the safe workplace. Here's another customer example in a healthcare organization. I would look here in terms of their overall portal views, 9,000 unique views per day. So it's really being a mechanism used heavily by the employees, driving and improving their overall experience and satisfaction. Increase in the number of self-service requests, very significant benefits. Then when you look at things from a COVID perspective, less than 3 to 5 days for the launch. They have those new emergency response services now, and we can kind of see here the different level of work and requests that they're able to handle and resolve by implementing and putting in these additional capabilities to handle the COVID rapid response. Here's another customer example. So those of you that are familiar with the sports teams, they definitely had an immediate shutdown. At the same time, then they had to look for ways to open up in a very safe fashion. And so you can see here how ServiceNow assisted the organizations here and being able to manage that screening process here and to process all those documents. And so this really enabled them to restart their sporting events and to maintain a safe working environment for their teams. Significant benefits here, highlighting the power of digitization, the power of digital transformation. Next, here is another example customer here in the utility space. And so here, instead of looking at it from an onboarding perspective, looking at it as an offboarding perspective, they have a lot of turnover as they're managing their different sites that are short-term. So they're able to automate those processes, drive significant productivity improvements, and drive 200,000 in savings here on an annual basis. So significant savings and benefits. So you can take those savings and redeploy those to other activities to further enhance that employee engagement. So we've seen now some of the key solution capabilities for HR service delivery. We've seen some of the significant benefit savings as well as just the overall engagement with employees through the usage of ServiceNow technology, whether it be for HR service delivery or whether it be for the safe workplace or some of the other employee-focused solutions from ServiceNow. Those of you that are looking at the HR service delivery package, they have multiple different licensing packages that are standard, enterprise, and professional. And these are sold based upon named user. So you have different set of capabilities for standard. Then you grow into more capabilities from an overall professional perspective. Then same thing here from an enterprise. So basically from an enterprise professional, definitely with enterprise, you would have access to all these capabilities we've been discussing. There's also some add-on capabilities that are available, such as a safe workplace we've mentioned here, as well as the employee document management solutions. So many customers are using the HR solution here. And those of you that are thinking that, hey, I already have my HRS solution, this is not meant to replace HRIS. This is meant to bring that to life and to support the service delivery, the HR support, HR operations across the organization, and then be able to manage those requests across the different silos, across the different departments, and thereby reducing the time and headaches of the HR support teams. So significant benefits, kind of getting rave reviews here from HR departments with the HR service delivery. So in summary, beyond just HR service delivery, ServiceNow has the ability to support these ServiceNow employee workflows across the different areas. So HR has been our focus here, but we've seen a little bit here around workplace services. As you can start to see here, there's more and more solutions coming online, such as legal service delivery. Then there's a safe workplace that came as a result of the pandemic. So you can kind of see that even internally, you can use the power of the platform, the no-code, low-code, to create your own solutions. If there's workflow opportunities, automation opportunities, or digitization opportunities within your different departments, within your different product delivery teams, you have that ability to create those solutions here on the ServiceNow platform. But also, it's going to drive overall tangible outcomes and drive that overall increased employee engagement. So next we wanted to transition here to next steps. So now that we've been able to see and understand some of the benefits that organizations have achieved through using ServiceNow's HR service delivery solution, we've seen some of the ROI, we've seen some of the budget saving opportunities. So the big question is, where should we start? What's the biggest opportunity for you and your organization? And so as you look at that, initially you need to determine where's the pain point today and start to identify those target workflows. Then you'll be able to have a chance to understand the value realized and then be able to tap into that additional value. Some areas that you might want to look at is that whole HR service delivery, but maybe you need to manage those life events. And so that might be an opportunity for onboarding or offboarding. So those might be the areas that we need to look at. Maybe we need to improve and digitize the engagement with our employees, provide that omni-channel support. Maybe we need to enhance more of the HR operations and focus on automation and the usage of analytics to assist in that process. Here again, maybe HR is not the specific area. Maybe we need to look at workplace services, the safe workplace. Maybe need to go look at legal as an example. So the idea here is to identify what's the biggest area need that you have for business value. And a lot of times organizations identify that by their biggest pain points. But we can definitely help in that process. And so we wanted to highlight how we can help you in that process. So in terms of ways to identify where to start, where to find those budget saving opportunities, we're offering our value discovery workshop. So that's coming in and having a workshop. Those can be, initially, those are just a 2 or 4 hour workshop. And so we can do those for free. Or if you'd like to have more in-depth engagement, that would be a paid engagement for a discovery roadmap engagement. Also, we do partner with ServiceNow and utilize their business value assessment. So we do that very frequently with the ServiceNow representatives that are related to your account. And so that's really a focus on looking at industry best practices, industry standard savings, and coming up with an overall business value plan that yourself, the C-suite, can get behind and support. So that kind of goes through an iterative process to make sure that value is right-sized to your organization. And then it'll be both ServiceNow and our responsibility to work with you on an ongoing basis to ensure the achievement of those values that have been identified in that assessment. Another starting point here would be to come in and do an actual demonstration on some of the different solutions we've highlighted today to confirm the value that you would receive from those solutions. And then fourth but not least is actually then reaching out, and we can help you with an implementation, an advisory guided setup engagement. So those of you that have your internal staff, but you need to have that advisory on the best way to implement these new solutions, we can assist you in that activity as well. So 4 simple ways to get access to those budget saving opportunities and start your journey. So in summary, wanted to thank you for attending our session today. Wanted to definitely at this time open it up for questions. Also, remember, we can set up that discovery workshop or schedule that business value assessment in each one of these areas to identify what would be the best area to drive the largest budget saving opportunities. Some of the most common questions we get is, where do I start, type of a scenario. And so we've tried to address that today, but we have our various implementation workshops that help organizations identify their implementation roadmap. So that's one area, is really identifying the roadmap. So if you'd like to schedule that discovery workshop, we can highlight the common starting points here for HR service delivery and let you understand that roadmap. And then from there, we can assist in tailoring that, and then also providing you with estimates on what it would take to implement that roadmap. So that's one of the most common questions we receive. One of the other common questions is around the business value assessment and what's the process there. So basically for that process, that's where we'd have a kickoff overview call with us in ServiceNow, and we would provide you with an overview of that approach. We'd then provide you with and schedule a time to ask questions. And so we're going to ask questions, kind of understanding your current as-is state, both from a process perspective as well as from a people and technology perspective. And then we'll take that information, and that information will be fed into the assessment tool that includes all the industry analysts' research. And then from there, we'll have the draft output of that value assessment. And at that point, then we'll review that, make sure that those initial interview questions were correct, make sure that the actual estimated benefits are right-sized, and kind of scale those back as needed to make it reasonable for your organization. And then at that point, we would have a business value assessment that could then be used for your business case. And we see many customers using that assessment as an input into their business case to get their CFO or COO to approve the investment here to implement HR service delivery, and then as a result of that, achieve those overall savings. So those are the two common questions that we typically receive.